If you've spent any time in Where Winds Meet, you already know this world loves to surprise you. One minute you're clearing bandit forts or watching absolute chaos unfold between animals, and the next you're stumbling into emotional side stories or moments that are straight up hilarious. That's kind of the magic here. The game constantly shifts tone, blending drama, comedy, and just a hint of fear, all while making the world feel alive and unpredictable. Today though, we're heading far north, deep into the Bodhic Sea, to talk about one of the most unsettling encounters in the game, Ye Wanshan. This swampy nightmare is filled with warriors who refuse to rest, fighting as if they're chained to their regrets. It's eerie, it's intense, and it's home to a boss that can absolutely wreck you if you're not prepared. In this video, I'll break down how to defeat Ye Wanshan, what to watch out for, and how to survive this otherworldly fight without losing your mind. Let's get into it.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel.
If you enjoy these types of list videos,
don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos.
Enjoy watching.
Thanks.
Finding Ye Wanshan in Where Winds Meet is one of those moments where the game quietly says, yeah, it is not going to be that simple. Even though he is the final boss of this whole chain, you do not actually run into him directly inside Bodhic Sea, and that is where many players get confused. Bodhic Sea is more like the key than the destination, giving you access to the path that eventually leads to Ye Wanshan, but only after you unlock the right conditions. Once you realize that the area is meant to guide you toward him rather than house him, everything starts to click, and the hunt becomes way more interesting than a straightforward boss run. Getting into Bodhic Sea and Where Winds Meet already feels like a test of patience and awareness. You will find it far to the north of the Qinghe region, tucked inside the Sundara land area, and from a distance it looks almost unreal. Thick mist covers the entire swamp, so whether you are staring down from the surrounding mountains or looking at it from the edge of the floral expanse beyond, you simply cannot see what is waiting inside. The game does not give you a clear view on purpose, forcing you to commit and walk straight into the unknown. Once you decide to enter, things slow down fast because Bodhic Sea is a swamp and walking is your only option. The murky water hides crocodiles that can catch you off guard if you rush in blindly, so using wind sense while approaching is extremely important. You cannot dodge or jump away while moving through the swamp, which makes every encounter feel tense and deliberate. Only after reaching solid ground do you regain the freedom to jump, dodge, and run again. Though even then, you are still limited to a single jump due to the oppressive atmosphere weighing down on the entire area. Once you step into Bodhic Sea, everything narrows down to a single objective, ringing the 3 drums hidden across the swamp. They are not marked on your map, and wind sense will not help much until you are already very close, so this part is all about paying attention. You actually need to listen for the drums themselves. If you entered from the shores of the floral expanse beyond, you will get a small head start, because one drum is sitting right next to you on the wooden platforms as soon as you arrive. As you move deeper into the area, the game gives you a subtle but important clue. When a drum is being played nearby, a HUD indicator appears, showing a sound wave along with the direction the sound is coming from. Following that audio cue is the key to tracking down all 3 drums scattered around Bodhic Sea. There are technically 4 drums in total, but one of them is located in the very center of the swamp and is constantly being played by a non-player character you cannot interact with. Combat here comes with an extra twist, so do not let your guard down after a fight. Enemies in Bodhic Sea briefly return to life after being defeated, launching one final aggressive flurry of attacks before their health points drain on their own. If you relax too early, it is very easy to take unnecessary damage, so always be ready for that last burst. After you have successfully rung all 3 drums, your next step is to return to the central drummer, the one who wanted all the beats to fall into harmony with his own. When you reach the center, however, he is gone. Your character begins to feel weak, the screen distorts, and everything fades as you collapse, only for you to suddenly wake up in a completely different location, signaling that something far more serious is about to begin. After you awaken, you find yourself in a strange dreamlike place that quickly starts to feel more like a nightmare. You are forced to walk through the ruined remains of a village while apparitions are cut down around you, creating a heavy and unsettling atmosphere. Keep moving forward until you reach the hero's tomb, which is usually surrounded by the fallen signposts of other players who met their end here. Pass beyond that point, because this is where your real fight with Ye Wanshan begins. The good news is that this encounter is not a one-shot attempt. You can challenge Ye Wanshan as many times as you like, and if the fight feels overwhelming, you are free to leave the area at any time through the pause menu. That freedom makes this battle more about learning his patterns and improving with each attempt, rather than being punished for experimenting or failing early. As Phase 1 begins, Ye Wanshan makes a dramatic entrance by charging in on horseback, immediately setting the tone for the fight. In this stage, he wields both a sword and a glaive, but most of his attacks come from the glaive, using its reach to control space. Since he is mounted, he moves around the arena constantly, but do not worry about targeting the horse specifically, because Ye Wanshan and him mount share the same health bar, so any clean hit still counts. Because of how much he rides past you, ranged pressure can be very effective here. Firing arrows, especially fire arrows, help supply burning damage while he circles the arena. As he dashes by, he often swings his glaive in a wide slash, sometimes chaining it into 2 more attacks or suddenly stopping to slam the weapon down. Stay focused as he approaches and be ready to either deflect cleanly or dodge through these sequences. His most dangerous move in this phase is the glowing red attack. When you see this, he will stop directly in front of you and begin charging both weapons. Do not deflect too early. Wait a brief moment after the red flash, then deflect as he brings the weapons down. Timing it correctly opens him up for solid damage and removes a large chunk of his chi, giving you a strong advantage early in the fight. Once you drain his first health bar, Ye Wanshan flows straight into Phase 2 without giving you much room to breathe. Right away, he starts using a new signature attack marked as a golden move, which means it cannot be blocked or deflected under any circumstances. In this attack, he launches himself into the air with his horse and hurls his glaive directly at you, then follows it up with a heavy slam a few seconds later. Your only real option here is to dodge cleanly and stay mobile. What makes this move especially dangerous is the lack of a clear warning. There is no golden flash telling you exactly when to dodge, so you have to rely entirely on reading his animations. Watch for the leap and the throwing motion, and be ready to move immediately, because hesitating even slightly can get you caught by the follow-up slam. After that first devastating slam, Ye Wanshan and his horse become wreathed in flames for the rest of the fight. This fiery aura can make it much harder to read his movements, especially when attacks chain together quickly. Many of his Phase 1 patterns return, but with longer, more punishing extensions, and several new attacks are added on top, turning the second phase into a far more aggressive and chaotic battle. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.